So in this video, I'm gonna give you guys 5 tips to absolutely maximize your 20s. You're probably someone watching who doesn't want to just live like everybody else. Go to college, get in debt, work the same job, retire at 65 with just enough money to survive. You're somebody who realizes that there's a different path out there and you want to use your 20s, not to just have fun and to, go and do all the cool things, but actually to build your life and start to build your financial freedom and build your future. And that's exactly the mindset that I have. And these are gonna be the 5 things that I have done personally that have really allowed me to start to set myself up. So by the time I'm 30, I'm in a great position. So the very first thing you need to understand is sacrificing very early on. The more you can sacrifice up front, the more freedom you are going to have on the back end. So that compound interest, both in terms of money and as well as in terms of time and the things that you can do with that time to really start to set yourself up, are going to be huge. Some of the simple sacrifices that I made: number one, not going to college. That is a huge, one of the biggest expenses that anyone in their 20s is going to make. If that's not for you, don't just waste time because everyone else is doing it, going to make that decision. But that aside, next thing was, I'm not going to party. I'm not going to drop $100 on alcohol every weekend, every other weekend. That's boom, money saved immediately. That's also time saved that I can use to start to build my future, start to build my knowledge, business, all of that kind of stuff. Not going to restaurants, not going out all the time. Oh, it's just lunch, it's just $10 here, it's just $20 here. All of that is going to add up. If you make, say, 10 different decisions where I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to a restaurant, I'm not going to this concert, you could save an extra $500 a month, which most people, again, in their 20s, they don't understand this concept. Oh, it's just money, I gotta have fun, I gotta enjoy myself. That $500, number one, is going to be able to build your base, but it's also going to compound into way more money down the road. Think of every dollar saved as $10 in the future. So if you're spending $500 today, every single month, that's another $5,000 that you could have down the road in 10, 20, 30 years, whatever it may be. So all of that money that you can save early on and to sacrifice is going to compound tenfold. But in reality, the biggest part of this is it allows you to build your base of comfort a lot earlier on. And once you have that base, both in terms of financially, right? So say you're able to build up $10, $20, $30,000 early on, then you have that pool of money where you're comfortable, where then you can start to take risks, which we'll talk about. But also when you can make that sacrifice in terms of time, where you're not going and wasting time doing stuff, you're not hanging out with people who are wasting your time, who do not share your vision. You're able to spend all of that time reading, listening to podcasts, building your skills, which you're going to be able to leverage down the road. So most people, young people, cannot understand how important all of this is going to be to compound. Most people, again, if you're going to do all the traditional stuff that everyone else is going to do, number one, you're going to be like everyone else. But number two, you're not going to have skills that you can leverage at 30. So all of these skills, all of that knowledge that you're able to build by sacrificing your time and actually building instead, you're able to monetize at 25, 26, 27, 30, way more tenfold than everybody else is going to be able to. So again, think of every hour that you spend is going to give you 10 hours more of freedom down the road. Every dollar that you spend is really $10. Save that, start to build your base in terms of knowledge and also in terms of money. This is something that I did. I was able to build up a base, not only of knowledge, I was able to read like 100 books by the time I was probably 21. So I was able to get a ton of knowledge, tons of podcasts, and I was able to build up $75,000 worth of savings by the age of 22, which I was then able to leverage into my first gym, which gave me more cash flow, which again, allowed me to do a whole lot of other things. So that's number one. Number two is stay out of debt early on. So obviously college is the biggest one. You're starting to build up that base, you have a little business going, you're 20, 19, 22, you're gonna be tempted to go and buy nice things. You're gonna be tempted to get into debt, whether that's credit card debt, whether that's personal loans. And again, the biggest thing is going to be college. Debt is going to be the trap. You are not able to take risks when you have that debt hanging over your head. So this is the biggest thing I tell all of the kids that I train, I interact with that are 18, 19, they're coming to me for advice. That college debt, that $500 payment, $700 payment, $1,000 payment for some of you guys is always going to be over your head and you are not able to take risks. You're in a job you don't like. I have this, payment that I'm not able to get out of. So I have to make it every single month. I have to make that payment. It's going to trap you. It's going to trap you in things that you don't want to do. And it's going to give you less options. The biggest thing that you can have in your 20s, one of the best competitive advantages, is options. The more options that you have, the more you're able to benefit on certain things that are going to come your way, whether that's opportunities, maybe you have to relocate somewhere, maybe you're going to quit your job to go into this opportunity, but it's going to take a couple months to start making your money. You're not able to do that when you have that debt hanging over your head and that payment that you have to make every single month. So stay out of debt the best that you possibly can, especially college debt if you can. Reduce it, make it as small as you possibly can, and stay out of debt, especially with stupid things. Again, early on, especially, all of that debt, save it, kick it down the road, wait until you're 30. When you have any business, any investment, at the end of the day has a chance of it not working out. So even if you tried the best idea possible, almost a guarantee, but it has a 90% chance of success, and you hit that 10% where it's not going to work out and you lose everything, you're in a very tough position. So the better base that you can build, the more chances you have to take these risks, and you really only need 1 or 2 to really work out for you to become very successful, to really start to make some serious money. So the better base you have, the more knowledge you have, the more calculated risks that you can take, the more chances you have of really working out and setting yourself up for life. So that's why you want to build your base. That's why you want that knowledge. So then you can go and take these calculated risks wisely and still have room to fail for some of them and then be able to get back on your feet and try again. The problem with most people and the way that they live their life, they can't take risks because again, they're not in a position. They go to college, they're in debt, you know, they just bought a new car, so they're in debt. They got to stay in the same job. They can't afford to go and make this investment. Go invest 5K here, 10K here, start this new business, try it for 3 months, it fails, get back on their feet and try again. So when you can take these calculated risks and set yourself up to take them, you give yourself more opportunity and more options of success. And with each failure and each thing that doesn't work, you're going to learn. What you see with most successful people, their first business isn't the one that worked out, isn't the one that made them all their money. Usually they have 1, 2, 3, and then their 4th one, they hit it big. But you can't get to that 4th one if A, you're not taking risk, if you're not taking multiple risks, and if you don't have a base and a position to work off of to fail 2, 3, 4 times. Not necessarily failure in terms of, you know, you wipe everything out, you go bankrupt, but it doesn't really work out. I got to go try something else. So don't be afraid to try stuff. Don't be afraid to fail. Take these risks, learn from everyone. You only really need one to hit it big and to really make it. Number 4 is try things fast. So this kind of goes back to the last point of, you know, taking calculated risk. You want to try things fast, but you want to make sure you're sticking to certain things. A lot of people, they don't know what they want to do. Oh, you know, I want to start a business, but I don't know what to start. I've started like 4 businesses before I even started my main business to then start my next business after that, which I have a lot of confidence in it working out. I started like a stupid marketing business when I was like 18, had no idea what I was doing, but that knowledge allowed me to build into my next business. Then I started like a clothing company in college, didn't work out, that was terrible, but again, I learned certain things. Then I tried something else, didn't really work. Then I started my main business at 18, 19, and all those lessons that I learned worked out. But if I, you know, always sitting there contemplating, oh, maybe I'll start this business, maybe I won't, maybe I'll try this idea, maybe I'll learn this, and you just sit there and don't do it, you're not going to be able to build all that knowledge. You're not going to be able to get all that experience. Go try it right away. Just dive into it, figure it out, do it for 3 months. If you know for a fact, hey, this is not going to work out, this is not the best idea, pivot. Be able to move quick. Go try something else. Didn't really work, got a lot of experience, got a lot of lessons, boom, move to the next thing. So once you try a bunch of different things, you'll slowly start to figure out, okay, what do I want? Who am I as a person? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And then you can learn from all of those. And then once you do find your thing, you need to go all in. So this is a very two-sided coin where it's obviously like you want to try things, but you also need to stick with things. So try things. If you know it's not going to work, jump from it, go and try something else. But once you find that thing, you need to stick with it. All of the results, all of your best investments, your best businesses are going to make the most money on the tail end of it. So you're going to work for a year, not really make much. Year 2, not that much. Year 3, and then boom, year 5, you make more money than you made all those 4 previous years combined. So it's obviously trying things, moving fast, but then once you find it, stick with it and stay with it for a long period of time. Number 5 is learn about a lot of different things. So have a lot of knowledge in terms of investment, psychology, marketing, business, health. Learn a lot of different things about a lot of different things, and what you'll notice is a lot of these things are going to connect, but you're going to get a lot of better ideas, a lot better strategy when you can understand and see the entire picture. Once you can do that, then once you again figure out what you want to do, figure out where you're going, or figure out where your expertise is and interest is, go all in on that, get as much knowledge as you possibly can in this vertical, but still go wide. A lot of problems with people in terms of their knowledge is very limited because they only know one thing, right? That's where, especially in college, everyone is very, very hyper-focused on one specific little niche. When you can have a knowledge on a lot of different niches, you can start to pull different ideas and things from those to use into your one thing. But when you're very narrow, you don't have and can utilize all of that base knowledge where you can build and use on that. So learn about a lot of different things, and then once you know what your thing is, go all in on that and know more than 99% of people. And again, you're going to be able to benefit from that. If you guys are one of those people who want to change your life and build, these are the things that I would do every single day. Learn fast, move fast, take calculated risk. Once you find your thing, go all in, spend a lot of time on it, and think in terms of decades. A lot of people, when you're younger, your time preference is very short, right? I'm just thinking in terms of weeks. Start to think in terms of decades, and you're going to be successful. I guarantee you guys, if you can apply these things, it's going to help. So if you guys like this video, please drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Any other ideas, advice you guys want, would be happy to share that. So hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next video soon. Peace.